Hey YouTube, welcome back. This is part 3 of my Mark 1 Omnidiver 1-month overview, and in this video I'm going to talk about the clasp on this beautiful watch. So I talked about the bracelet, and bracelets can only go so far before you come down to the clasp. Now this clasp is it's genius. It is slim. It is a little bit wider, so the bracelet coming down into the clasp is 24. This comes out to be, let's get the calipers real quick. .7, so around 27 millimeters wide, which, trust me, is not even an issue because the way this thing wears is beautiful. So this is a 3 kind of fold system. It is not your normal Rolex style, Omega style, or any kind of microbrand style. So what you have here is this is your entire clasp, and it is a toolless microadjust, meaning you can adjust this to the perfect fit every time. So what you have first is you've got this over the clasp that goes on top, and so what it does, it pops open like this. And this is all grade 5 titanium. It is super stiff. It is thin, but there is no way you are flexing this or bending it. It is incredibly strong. And then you can see you've got a dive extension here. You've got the serial number of the watch. And how this works now is this is held in by this pin over here. So to open it, what you have to do is push these out of their groove, okay? And then grab this, and it snaps open. And you can see here, these are the teeth for all your various sizings. So each of these vary by 4 millimeters, which is incredible because if you've got all of this, you've pretty much got like 2 centimeters worth of adjustment, right? You've got 6 positions, and that means you can have the watch in this position or all the way down to here. And you can see how much of the bracelet gets consumed. So amazing, amazing concept. The other design aspect that's been put in here that just makes you appreciate the engineering is when this is closed, the forces, so let's put it back into a position, by tugging on your bracelet, you're not actually gonna pop this open. All the force is being distributed, not to the pins, but into the pieces. So without getting too much to the engineering aspect of it, that is a very smart idea. That just means that your clasp is never gonna fail on you or open up to let your watch go because it is in there. And sure, there's no ceramic ball bearings to clasp it or whatever. This stays very, very solid. There are these little, there is a bearing here, and that's what captures the over clasp, I'll call it. I don't know the official term for it, but that clasp is brilliant. It is brilliant. As an owner of a Rolex Sea Dweller 43 millimeter, I love that clasp, but this feels like it's better built. It's actually more robust. It's actually something that I would say feels higher quality and more expensive in my opinion. The Rolex clasp is nice, but it just makes you feel like after you try this out, it's just super dainty and yeah, it just does, it feels weird. It feels weird after a while. So this entire one side moves up and down on these little screws, and they're pinned in, and everything is just allowing you to slide this up and down so you can get it into the right position. Great. It's also got a dive extension that's built in, and it's very simple. It moves in and out. What it does is it folds in, and the only thing is you have to make sure is that you center this. What I would recommend any future iterations is maybe have like a spacer here so that you don't have to always line it up in the middle, that it would just fold out. But honestly, that's a minor gripe because once you get the hang of putting this on your wrist, it just fits beautifully. So again, during the days, most of the time I'm right in the middle. And if you talk to Andrew, and whenever you get your Omnidiver, he tries to have you send him a piece of paper that you wrap around your wrist that tells you the wrist size and approximately how many links, and 90% of the time, 95% of the time, it's exactly where you want it to be. So for me, this is where I wear my watch on my right wrist, and I'm usually in the middle of the clasp, and on my left wrist I'll go down one notch to make it fit my left wrist. But this clasp is beautiful. It allows you so much adjustability, and it is so thin. Let's talk about how thin it is. Again, let's bring out the calipers. It is 8 millimeters, right? So 8 millimeters of grade 5 titanium goodness, and the concept is genius. Like, how to get all of this in here, to make it super snug, and you know, it is comfortable on the inside. This thing is smooth. It feels just as comfortable. Let me open it up again, just so you can see what I'm talking about. The inside of this has been, it's been either, you know, it's been, obviously it's a little better finished in terms of it being soft, and you don't feel this on your wrist at all. It feels like the inside of a glide lock or any kind of Omega watch in terms of finish. You will have to watch out. These are sharp. I have poked myself a few times with this, but you live and learn. But here, this piece right here actually makes contact with your wrist, and it is beautifully smooth, as is everything on the inside. Again, no sharp edges, nothing that makes you go, oh wow, this is someone's handmade watch. No, it's actually very, very well machined. And you know, my job, I do work with a lot of CNC machining, and so a lot of post-processing on components in the stainless steel world. So for me to see this on titanium grade 5, it is just amazing. So that covers, that hopefully covers what I wanted to share with everyone with regards to the beautiful clasp on the SeL Omnidiver MK1. And I think this is the same bracelet and clasp that that Andrew's putting out for the D42s and the Mark IIs. So if you are a fan of toolless microadjust, he's doing it better than anyone I've seen out there. So I'm sorry to say, if you're a Rolex, Omega, you know, anyone else, I've seen microbrands put out all sorts of stuff. I've seen all the high-end brands now jump to toolless microadjust, but in my opinion, having owned all those watches and having used them, no one comes close to how functional and how usable this is without making it big and bulky. And you know, my experience goes all the way up to this Omega Ploprof, and that thing has microadjust, but it's like, it is a chunky monkey monster. It is huge. And so you get the same level of quality and something that just looks better and fits the watch, but also just works so much better. So I'm gonna wrap it up. That is the brief overview of the MK1 Omnidiver from SeL Instruments, and the beautiful clasp and its microadjust design. Again, appreciate any comments, suggestions. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe and like this video. I'm doing this again for kind of a, I guess, bringing awareness to the brand, but also bringing any questions to light for potential owners. Like, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. There's really, really not much out there for the SeL Omnidiver, or for most of the watches, because most of the people who buy them, this is a go anywhere, do anything type of watch, literally. And most of the people just get the watch, it's set the time, and put it on the wrist and move on with life. But for the, you know, obsessive compulsive in the watch community, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm hoping to address or bring light to these watches through these videos. So thank you again, and cheers.